there's a or this quiet power in understanding, not surface level understanding, but deep structured understanding. Because when you truly understand something, you don't start again, you translate. You get it? When you truly understand something, you translate. You're not starting all over. You're not starting afresh. You're not learning from the very beginning. You find yourself translating from previous knowledge. You get, right? So let me slow that down because this is where many people will miss it. Most people think learning a new tool means I'm starting from zero. But that is only true if what you've learned before was shallow. Now, let's make this practical, okay? If you understand statistics properly, get that. If you understand statistics properly, say concepts like average, distributions, and relationship in data, then, whether you are working in Excel, Power BI, or Python, you are not learning those ideas again. You are not coming to learn relationships in data. You are not coming to learn measures of central tendencies. You are not coming to learn you are not coming back to learn basic arithmetic, right? For instance, in Power BI, you have DAX, that is data analytics expressions. Data analytics expression helps you to transform your data, carry out calculations, and so on. So if you don't have an understanding, right, you begin to ask yourself, am I going to memorize formulas for, say, customer lifetime value of top 10 performing or top 5, top 3, and so on and so forth, right? Are we going to memorize it? So, if how many formulas can you memorize? And if you memorize it, how fluid will you be in actually solving problems, right? How fluid will you be in solving problems? So that's what I want you to understand. Okay. So, like I said, when you understand these concepts, you are not learning those ideas again. So you are simply expressing them differently. Statistics becomes Excel, becomes Power BI, and even Python, not because the tools are the same, but because the thinking is the same. Okay, the thinking is the same. Let me give you a real scenario. I have seen two people move from Excel to Python. The first person struggles for months because everything feels new syntax, new environment, and a completely different way of working. The second person adjusts much faster, not because Python is easy, but because they are not trying to learn Python from scratch. They are translating what they already understand. The logic is already there, the thinking is already built, and they are just changing the language. Now, these most recently, I was teaching my students Postgres, that is SQL in Postgres, and you could see slight differences, right? In well between PostgreSQL and MySQL. So some of them already started self-learning in MySQL. You could see those who focus on importing data directly, that is using the GUI, importing data directly by clicking import and so on, found it quite difficult to import using queries in PostgreSQL. But those who understood how to create table, they already understood how to write the queries to create table. They understood the structure that if I must create table, these are the queries I must write and so on. So it depends on the table structure, it depends on the data type needed. So all I need to do is to basically write the columns that I need to be represented, followed by the data type and so on and so forth. So it was easier for those set of people, for the second set of people, to transfer the knowledge they had to Postgres. So that is what the picture I'm trying to paint here. So okay, so this doesn't apply to data only. In software, if you understand algorithm, you can move between programming language. Sincerely, the idea is solving problems. That is why you write programs, right? The idea because you write programs to solve problems, isn't it? So that is it. Even in research, if you understand methodology, you can work across different fields. Truly. So you can't say I'm a science researcher and you cannot be instrumental in policy development. No, now because you understand methodology, you know the hypothesis, you know how to identify hypotheses to solve problems, you know how to draft research questions, you know how to ask those questions. So you can move from one industry to another across fields, basically. So in policy, if you understand systems and impacts, you can operate in different sectors. You cannot say, oh, I'm rooted in medical policy development, so social change, I'm not involved. Don't call me on social change. My area is medical policies. No, 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 because you understand what systems and impact, right? You know how to measure them. Okay, so the pattern repeats everywhere. So foundation stays constant and tools becomes interchangeable, right? And that is the advantage most people are missing, because instead of building understanding, they keep collecting tools. So every new tool feels like a new beginning. But for the professional who has built depth, there is no reset to that. There is only evolution. You only increase. So you move, you adapt, and you grow without starting over. That's the point. You grow without starting over. And that's the power of true understanding, because new experience, new knowledge is built on previous experience and previous knowledge. That is not science. That's something that has been proven. That, I mean, is not rocket science, basically. It's something that has been proven, it's something that we know. So sometimes we just feel like we don't know it, but it's something we truly know. Okay, that is why you do what? That is why you go to the primary schools, right? You start from that foundation, primary. You go to secondary, you go to college or university, you go to university. That's why that foundation is necessary. Now think of it. You didn't do primary, you didn't have that foundation. You did not have a secondary. You just went straight to the university. You'll be in class, like you'll be like, "Ah, what's the lecturer saying?" We had this lecturer who tell us, if you understood basic biology, you will understand what I'm saying. So I don't have to go back to begin to teach you basic biology. Yeah, that's true. And I recall, you know, in some parts of Nigeria, I don't know how parents do this. They will take their children, say, oh, their children are intelligent. So they'll do this thing they call double promotion. These children are smart, right? They do double promotion. Then they will not take the children from maybe a lower class to a higher class and so on. So when we met those kind of children in JS1, right, in secondary, junior secondary school one, you find that they'll struggle. They'll struggle because they don't understand the foundation. So you can't skip that foundation. You cannot skip that foundation. And specifically, my father will say, if you fail any or show that you don't have good strength in any, he will tell you to repeat it. He will repeat that class. Why? When we were little, we didn't like that idea. We didn't like the idea. So recently he told us that, when we were happy about the things we could do, right? He now asked us, now you are happy, I made you repeat it. Right? Now I remember when I was in primary school, I enjoyed that double promotion, but my father kicked against it. So going by the double promotion thing, I should have started my JS1 at 7 years old. My dad said, no, you are not going anywhere. Go back to your classes, go back and go and study it. Don't skip it. If you skip it now, you will suffer it later. So basically just trying to point to the importance of that foundation. So that is what I'm just trying to achieve. Okay.